The next World Bank leader, he is president of Dartmouth College. He's a leader in world health issues. And you know what? He might just be able to win American Idol. Let's talk to Sudeep Reddy right now. He's in Washington, D.C. Sudeep, introduce us to this man and tell us about his professional accomplishments. And he seems to have some theatrical ones as well.
He certainly does seem to have both. That video is going to go around quite quickly at the World Bank. He's the president of Dartmouth College, obviously, but before that, he spent decades in global public health, working around the world, dealing with some of the very difficult issues, HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, some of the disease issues that are coming up all the time at the World Bank. He's a little unusual in that he doesn't have an economics background, he doesn't have a finance background, and he certainly doesn't have a political background, which have been the way the World Bank presidents have been chosen in the past. Usually somebody who has some kind of a political background, some ties to the White House, which is what makes him unusual. And this is kind of a big change for the World Bank to get somebody with more development and global experience in this sense, and he'll probably be well received in that sense.
And we're going to get to this YouTube video of his in just a moment, but you know, is part of what President Obama is looking for in this appointment is that just someone with just a vast intellectual capacity to sort of tackle any kind of complicated problem, whether be it with healthcare or finance?
Yeah, and the World Bank, people have tried to understand it over the years as it's an institution that's changing very quickly. It was started after World War II, in part to help rebuild after the damage of World War II, help rebuild some of the first Europe and of course the now developing countries. And what we're seeing now is some of the developing countries, China and India, they have their own ways to get forward with this. They don't necessarily need the help of the Western world. And so the World Bank often goes in to deal with places like the Horn of Africa, where there are huge famine problems, right, and deal with some of the weak state issues. So there are a lot of people who could have been selected for this who have a lot of experience dealing with diplomacy, dealing with weak states, failing states. But in this case, they've chosen somebody who actually does have some sense of what it's like on the ground in all of these places, having worked specifically on global health programs. So he'll be seen differently, and most importantly, he won't be seen necessarily as just another tool of the White House, which has been one of the problems with this process and why a lot of developing countries have been objecting to this entire process, because it's been seen as a process that's just railroaded through by the White House to get an extension of the presidency to get a political appointee in there.
Sudeep, so a lot of people looking obviously at his intellectual capacity, but I think a lot of people may be actually typing his name into YouTube today. Very quickly, we're going to show this clip in a moment, but where was he performing when this was done?
This looks like the Dartmouth Idol competition. It's not completely clear to me what the circumstances were in terms of where in the event it came. Yeah. It probably came at the end, but this is it's somebody who is now going to be the equivalent of a head of state, right, who we've got on video.
We're going to take a listen right now. Let's do that.
I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. Oh, I've
had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. And I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you.
He's got some moves there, Sudeep. I mean, I can't imagine, though, that many people who actually probably would never pay attention to who the president of the World Bank is are now not going to know who Jim Yong Kim is.
That was clearly a great way to connect with college students, but the World Bank is a very serious and bureaucratic place, and I suspect as that video goes around that'll help him get known there, though people are now going to see him speaking first through this music video before they've actually heard him talk at the bank or in these interviews in the coming weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we'll continue to follow his progress into this role and also learn more about his background. And you know what, folks? There's another one with him performing something from Thriller. You can Google that one as well. Sudeep, thanks for being with us.